What else can we bring to each other's lives besides food?
Lauren kind of touched on this, but like mentoring.
Go on.
Because I feel like, from my personal point of view, I've mentored a lot of the guys in here that I've been working together for a long time. And, it's satisfying for me to watch them grow. And it's also satisfying that I can share some things that I've picked up over the years.
Sure. With that, there's a expression from martial arts. You guys ever heard of Ken Shamrock?
Yeah,
He's a martial artist. So one of the things that they use in martial arts, and I'm not a martial artist, so I know nothing about martial arts, but I really love this concept. I wrote an article about it a while back. This is from the book Ego is the Enemy. But it's this concept of plus, minus, and equals. All that means is that in any, you've heard of this? Yeah, I saw you nodding. So in any, you want to explain it? Do you know the?
The way I was thinking of it is like everyone will throw a limit.
Yeah.
He said the best way to get good jiu-jitsu is to chuck a shot. Because they're at a level where they're not new, but they're not super experienced, and there are 1,000 of them. So it's like if you're a purple and brown belt, they're good practice on, but the blue belt will let them chuck out the white belt. So it's like you got someone at your level, someone above you, and then someone below you.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. To your point about like what we can lend to each other is, it's the same reason that the other day I was like, Jolie, let's do kettlebells, and like little things like that, because that helps me think of not from the client standpoint, but from the trainer standpoint, how they can thus influence the client, how to get or how to reinforce a skill, but also to reinforce teaching, because that helps you get better. So mentoring, and on the flip side, being mentored. That's a big part. I wrote an article that got shared on Elite Daily. It had like 3,800 shares or something on the 5 mentorships that you need to have and the different types of mentorships. I believe in them. I seek them out. Kind of like what Brian said, like I get choked a lot, humiliated a lot, but that's what kind of A, puts a chip on your shoulder, but B, stokes the fire a little bit. For some people, being criticized is a form of putting out the fire. For others, it's kind of a phoenix-like exposure. Like it's only going to make that fire more angry, and then it's going to come back with a vengeance. This is an interesting one, and I put this in a question. What can we provide to ourselves? Like from this experience, this working environment, this training career, this working training experience, what can we provide to ourselves? What do we get out? Obviously money, maybe some shape, etc. But what do we get out? Is it different than what our clients get out of it? Is it different than, I don't know. What do you guys think?
What was the second thing you said?
What do we get out?
So maybe money and then maybe something else.
Maybe shape, like we get to, as a result of, but I wanted to think of the other things that aren't put on Instagram.
Like discipline.
Okay.
Being on time to work. Preparation. Being consistent. Yeah. Being consistent with your work. Enthusiastic about it.
Knowing people can rely on you.
I think it gives you thicker skin. Some people aren't the easiest to get along with. Some clients are a little harsh. Some people, have some rude comments, and I think overall it gives you thicker skin.
Any of those rude comments I need to deal with, we'll speak later.
No, but like remember I first started working here and I got a bad class test from you. It was like my first week that I was teaching. And I took it to heart. Like I took it so hard. I took it as like a personal attack. And it was literally my first week teaching classes here. So I was
On suicide watch.
no, I took it really hard. And it was bad because, well, not bad, but like one of our other employees took it upon herself to bring it to my attention. So it was kind of like negative. Like she just like had such a negative spin on it. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. Karen. She works for a drive, so I don't really care. But it honestly gave me thicker skin, and I read the reviews consistently because it just helps me grow. And I mean that. Like I feel like I've come such a long way and been able to not get that reviews out there anymore. It's really bad. But
Okay.
I like that too.
Is there a shorter name for that besides thicker skin? Maybe like resilience?
Oh, yeah.
Is that the better? I like that. What else? What else do we get out of it?
Accomplishment.
Explain.
There's a sense of accomplishment when you can achieve something for your clients or help someone or, you know, benefit something in some way or another. It's like reflective on you because you contributed to that.
Sure. I like that. What else?
I don't know if I had this whole like thought really put together, but I feel like it gives you good value on life, like valuing something like you're passionate about or that you enjoy doing versus like, you know, millions of people just doing 9 to 5s. Just all my friends just I get Snapchats like almost a week at this and that. It's just like I would never make my life like that. You know?
I totally echo that statement. There's so many people that come in here and just don't like their job, and like this is their escape, and it's nice to work somewhere where you don't need an escape.
Do you guys know the percentage of people that don't like their job?
95, 100.
Oh, it's like 70, but it's very, very high. You guys are dramatic. Boy. If it was 100, Alyssa.
We're the 5% guys.
Yeah. Good save, Alyssa. You didn't finish the round. You still got. Barry, help her with this. All right, well, good. So the next two slides are a little different. These are kind of things where I wanted to talk about, like just a couple name games that I put together when both reviewing the books, but also thinking about how we can communicate this to clients. Because one of the other goals of this is, and I've heard a couple people do it. I think Bree said something today to the walk-in. She said, "You're not just a number here." I was like, good. Like, because I know I've said that to people before, and so it's a value for us to have people feel like they don't just get a membership number, right? And then they're just put over onto the treadmill in the corner and forgotten about, but they're more than that. So I wanted to also give some things about what do we do, and we'll get to the how we do it in a second. So I put up here one of the five things, 5 P's. And this all revolves around changing lives. So number 1, we have the power of positivity. When anybody comes into the gym, let's say they had a bad day, it's gonna be better. Like, it will simply be better because we are positive and we're gonna bring the light. It's just what we do. And because of them attending a massage, attending a class, attending a training session, they're gonna get a better experience, and they're gonna walk out of here feeling better, maybe sweatier, maybe a little bit sore, but they will walk out of here feeling better than when they walked in. That's the power of positivity. Perspective. This kind of came up in some of the conversations already, but the power of perspective. A lot of people will look at things and say they can't do it, but in their work life, they climb the work and corporate ladder like nothing. So giving them the power of perspective is one of the things that we can do too, because if we give them that power to see that, why are you looking at fitness different than your work life? Why do you go out into your boardroom and crush board meetings and get millions of dollars in sales, and yet you come in here saying you can't deadlift? Come on, dude. This is not the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So giving them this reinforcement of perspective, of looking at this different than the way that they look at everything else, might be the where the fissure is, and we can fix that. We can help them see that. We can help identify that. It goes back to perspective. But then, that helps drive that change, right? Because if we can get their mindsets to align with their health, wellness, fitness, nutrition, sleep, recovery, with their work, their 60-hour grind that they normally expose themselves, if we can get those to be the same in terms of the mindsets, then we can change some lives. The other one is power. One of the things that I put down is just that, is power, and I don't mean from a strength perspective, but their ability to change themselves. You guys heard of the victims versus victors, right? Some people will be victors, and this kind of goes with that perspective, and the power of positivity, but some people will be victims in terms of their health and fitness, but they're victors in every other area of their life. They will conquer every sales call. They will walk in and sell, hundreds and thousands of dollars of equipment to a medical, field, but yet they walk in here and they're like, I just have no time. And you're like, dude, sure you do. You told me about the 6 hours of Netflix you binge watched Mrs. Maisel the other day. Like, sure you do. You don't make time. And so giving them the flip of the switch to know that they have the power to do something usually isn't that hard. And if we can do this for some of the people by listening, by asking questions, I think we'll expose our clients to a higher level of change. Progress. I put this down. I think it's simple, but I'm not talking about. I'm not talking necessarily about weight training. It could be about weight training. What's next, right? That's one of the questions I love from. You guys ever watch West Wing? You guys are too young. Gosh.
West Wing?
Yeah.
Like a presidential show on like HBO show?
Yeah. So good. Anyways, so one of the things he used to do is he would ask his secretary, once he finished like a bunch of documents, he would say, here, what's next? And he would just stand there and then, bring it. And that's the kind of mindset that I want to instill and I'd like to expect from us is that we want to say that to the client. If a client has never run a half marathon, why not? Why not? If they've never deadlifted 315 or 2 times their body weight, why not? If they've never been below 8% body fat for a male or 13 or 14% for a female, why not? Let's put that goal on the table for them. Give them that little carrot that they're used to chasing carrots, right? Most of these people in New York, they're not here to have a Subaru Outback, nothing against Subaru, and to have 3 cats, and to live in the
safest
woods.
car, cats, best animals. With that
Enough,
said,
Louise.
I have to go.
Yes, bye, Louise.
I will
Thank
see
you for
you
your time.
guys soon.
Peace out.
I only said that because you and Lauren are here.
Subarus are the safest cars.
I love cats. They just don't love humans. I think, right? Cats sometimes love humans. But just this power of progress, like giving people this carrot because they do want it. They do want it. They do 21-day challenges at work. Apparently, there's one in the middle of the country right now. One of my fitness friends was posting about it, where they're going on a 10-day wine fast. True story. It's a challenge. Wine fast. So they have nothing but water all day, and then they have 1 glass of rosé at night, and they're losing weight.
How's that? What?
I didn't make it up. I'm just a messenger. Just saying that this is part of the
You don't
challenge.
eat all day.
No, you don't eat anything all day. You just have water, and you have 1 glass of rosé at night. Again, I'm not just being the messenger, but people are also eating Tide Pods. So
Tide Pods?
again, this is on Twitter. I can't divest the news for you.
Oh, Tide? Like the...
Yeah, like the actual, like they're eating it. Yeah, and getting hospitalized.
Open in action, though. I'm all for it.
Yeah. So the last one, I know, Sammy. So the last one I put is kind of one of the things we talked about for us is the ability to persist. So just teaching them this is what you do, like you persist, you resist, and teaching them to get that kind of persistence, whether it's pushing through a workout and checking the box. Sometimes I tell people hey, you showed up today, great work, you checked the box, go home, get a shake, go home, take a nap, sleep, get a massage, come back tomorrow or come back in 3 days. But just going through, and something is better than nothing. I used to say that it's not. That was the perfectionist in me, and now I'm starting to be more and more client and reverse engineering from the client perspective, that something is way better than nothing. Because most people in this country are doing nothing, and they're doing it very well. Our quest, I put this up here, 5 nevers. They kind of match with our 5 Ps. So never settle. Okay, we're never going to settle for less than our best. Never quit. We're not going to stop pushing both each other, both ourselves, and both the organization. Whether it's from, hey, could we do this better? Hey, could this be over here? How many times, Barry, do I say, every time I'm with Barry, I say, is there a reason we don't do this? Should we do this? And you're probably tired of me hearing it, but that's because I have this view, and I do it uptown too, of I remember.